So I tried discussing Nigeria today with my friend, but it was a futile effort. It was very exhausting. It was very mentally draining to discuss. Yeah. So this friend was asking what I thought about President Donald Trump's warning to the Nigerian government about the alleged killings of Christians in Nigeria. And I just did not know how to feel. I'm going to be very honest. I just did not know how to feel because, on the one hand, it was such a huge relief that, oh, finally, these things that are happening in this country are finally gaining international attention. At least today on TikTok alone, I have seen up to at least 10 videos that are addressing this issue, right? And President Donald Trump's warning to the Nigerian government. I've seen top TikTokers talk about it, which is a good thing, yeah, because when you live in a country like Nigeria, there's so many things that happen on a daily basis that sometimes you just wish and hope that the international media will give a lot of coverage to it so that the world will see what's going on here. Yeah. So on the one hand, you're relieved. I am relieved. But on the other hand, I'm not very happy. Yeah, because not trying to demonize America or anything now, right? I'm not a politician. I'm not going to claim that I am a student of politics and I understand how world governance works. No. But at least from what we've seen in history, far history, near history, about what invasions have done to a lot of countries that had the potential to be greater than America today, guys, we've seen how it turned out bad, like extremely bad. We've seen the case of Syria, we've seen the case of Libya, we've seen the case of so many other countries. We do not want that for Nigeria, right? And so, being stuck at the center of this dilemma, it makes you to begin to wonder that what exactly is the Nigerian government's plan for these terrorists, these bandits? Ladies and gentlemen, have you seen videos of terrorist organizations or terrorist leaders or terrorists coming out in their full force to hold meetings, to speak to community leaders, local community leaders, to give them their conditions, their rules and regulations, especially on how they want to operate in that environment? Have you seen all of these news? Have you seen all of these videos circulating on social media? These are not AI videos. These are actually real. Have you seen these videos? These things are happening. But it's like the government is turning a blind eye to it. It's like these people actually they are living in plain sight. They are not hiding. They are out there. And there's no way every government intelligence agency in this country will claim that they do not know the locations or the hideouts or the living in broad daylight locations of these bandits, of these terrorists. There's no way they will say they do not know. Because if you've seen the way the DSS, the EFCC, the police, if you see the way they are very, very quick to investigating and locating and picking up people anyhow, whether those who are guilty, whether those who are not guilty, maybe those that are under suspicion, those that are under investigation, the way these law enforcement agencies are very, very quick to locating people and picking them up. It's very impressive, but at the same time, also very scary. Yeah? So then if they have the equipment, if they have the technology to easily locate ordinary citizens, why is it very hard? Why is it very difficult for them to easily locate these bandits that are moving freely in the north? in the northeast of Nigeria. Why is it very difficult? Why is it very difficult? Why? That's the question I have. Why is it very difficult? Why? And then when you also think about the way these terrorists, who they call repentant terrorists, you see the way they are treated with kids' gloves. They call them, after they've killed people, after they've burnt houses, burnt people's properties, destroyed lives, displaced people for over how many years now? 15 to 16 years. They now come and say they are repentant bandits or repentant terrorists. They've turned a new leaf. You see how the government creates rehabilitation programs for them, and then they give them a new life. Some of them are even sponsored to go to school, given scholarships. They even live way better than the families of those victims that they have ripped off their lives and their futures. So when you think of all of these things happening in the country, even with the recent what they call it, the recent rampage of kidnappings here and there. Like kidnapping now is now a lucrative business. Anywhere you go, people are just kidnapping left, right, and center. When you think about all of these things and how I'm not saying the government is not working. I don't know what they are doing behind the scene, but it's looking like they're not really cracking down on these people. Yeah. So you as a Nigerian, that sometimes you're just scared of, you can't even take a road trip in this country. I'm sorry, don't even try it. You can't take a road trip. You can't just decide now that, okay, oh, I want to freely move to another state. I want to drive. You are praying, you're doing prayer and fasting, you're scared, right? So you've seen how your safety is not necessarily guaranteed in this country. I'm not even going about other aspects of the economy where things are just ridiculously expensive. We're not talking about that one today, right? But you look at the state of insecurity in this country, right? And then you now read all of President Donald Trump's threats or warnings, whatever you want to call it. As a Nigerian, what will you do? Are you going to be excited or are you going to be skeptical about this? I don't know what to call this at this point, but what are your thoughts? For me, I'm kind of divided. On the one hand, I'm kind of happy that we are gaining international attention about the insecurity in Nigeria. But on the other hand, I'm really worried, really, really worried, because the last thing you want to hope for in this country is for the history of other countries, other African countries especially, to repeat itself in this country. What are your thoughts? Where do you stand? Are you excited or you reject it? Where do you stand?